the paycheck, it was a ceiling. It was only so much I could make doing that. And high school coaches don't get paid enough, teachers don't get paid enough, and that should be mentioned a lot more. Because there's a lot of time and effort that teachers put into to young men and women that they take away from their family. And that, again, that doesn't get said enough. And first and foremost, they should get paid more. And so for me, the motivation was not only just money, but I had to find something like working with the youth, that I could help people, that I could educate people, that I could network with people, that I could give them guidance that would help them believe in something that they may not have believed themselves. And for being a loan officer, that's just that. You meet people. First part of financing and seeing if you qualify is you got to have a credit score that qualifies. A lot of people, just again being honest, haven't been educated. At least a lot of people that I know haven't been educated in the fact of credit and what it has to be. As you're growing up, your credit is your fingerprint, your history, your blueprint of who you are and what you've been. The first thing that a lender is going to look at when they're thinking about, loaning you $100,000 or $150,000 or $250,000 on a house is what's your credit history. Have you been making late payments on your Macy's card? Have you been making late payments on your car note? Have you been on time? Do you have a lot of collections? Or have you been ignoring those student loans when they're calling you, telling you owe? Or are you talking to them? Are you trying to cooperate with them in order to make payments to keep your credit clean? That's you. That's your blueprint. So before a lender will offer you $150,000 on a loan on a home, we got to know that your credit history is good enough, because the whole key of lending is the ability to repay. So if you can demonstrate the ability to repay, then that's your first step to seeing if you qualify.
So what's the first thing that you do once, if I was to call you and be like, look, I want this loan, I need a $300,000 loan, I'm ready to move in 30 days.
Okay, so I tell them first and foremost, then if it's 30 days, then we need to get moving right now. As I mentioned, there are certain things to decide if you qualify. The first is the credit. We kind of just went over that a little bit, and that comes with completing the application. You will give me authorization to pull your credit. I'll pull a hard pull, which is much more than you would if you were going to get a credit card. We see those student loans. We see those if there's any bankruptcies. We see if there's any late payments. Like I said, we pull from the three major bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And I'm going to know a little bit about you. It's basically, it's almost like equivalent to a checkup at the doctor where, it's intimate. Like I'm going to know a little bit about you, but I'm also going to help you and give you the advice that if we don't have the credit pull, then I won't know, and neither will anybody else. So it's a lot of trust and a lot of confidence that you're putting into your loan officer, and that's why integrity, and that's why that trust and that things that you're talking about, helping people, is very important. The second qualifying factor after credit is income. We want to see a 2-year work history. Do you have the ability to keep a job, to follow, whatever it takes to show that ability to repay? If you're a W-2 wage earner, so you file your W-2s every year, and you've been working 2 or more years, then you have that's the second qualifying factor. If you own your own business, they definitely want to see that you file your 1099 or your S corp or whatever else that you might have filed for at least 2 years. And you can't write everything off either. If you write everything off, then that might take away from the purchase power that you might have. And then the third qualifying factor is assets. What do you have to put down? Have you been saving up? Do you have, closing costs are usually around 3% of the total purchase price. And that goes with your down payment. So a down payment plus your closing costs and prepaid. So you're talking about, if you're going to get an FHA loan, you're talking about 3.5% down of the purchase price plus approximately 3% for your closing costs. Now, good realtors such as yourself, Keisha, you're going to fight for your client, and you're going to see how much the sellers are willing to pay towards your client's closing costs. So that may or may not be a factor. So they may just be talking about the money for down payment. And so those three things, credit, income, and assets, are the things that determine if you qualify. especially as long as you don't have any bankruptcies that have not been discharged or haven't been discharged for 2 years or more. And then also, I must say, with assets, we're talking about sourced funds. Okay, we're not talking about under your mattress, $5,000 or something like that you just decide to put in the bank real quick. That's not gonna fly.
They call it gangster money.
Yeah, well, some people do, and some people really just get out and hustle honestly. So
what I'm saying is that money that you can't, if it's not in the bank, there's no way to verify it. Because you know how grandmothers, they used to put everything in them pillow covers, all the money, and stash it. So don't mean that you're doing anything illegal, but you have to be able to verify,
exactly.
That you have the money and how you got the money. Because for all they know, you could have got it from someone else, which is okay, but the money have to be verified.
Source. Yeah. We call it source funds. So source funds, money in the bank, or in like 401k, or in the form of some sort of social security payment that you may be receiving, monthly, that can be shown that it's going to continue for an amount of time. There's so many different ways, that funds can be sourced, but the key is that it's sourced, and again, not gangster money or what we call mattress money. So definitely want to make sure those funds are sourced.
Well, the thing about it, Tony, I appreciate that shout out, but it's a team effort. Like, I, as a realtor, I cannot do this without good lenders like Tony. I worked with him for the first time with the lady I'll call Miss Smiley. She would, like I said, she wasn't able to make it. She, had to work. I don't blame her. You got to make your money. But he did an excellent job. His communication skills was awesome. Normally, I have to call the other agent and I have to call the buyer to kind of inform her on what's going on with the loan, even though that's really not my part, but majority of the time I do. I don't mind doing it, but he was excellent. I call him Tony Tiger Tuesday, because every Tuesday we were getting some kind of update on what was going on with the loan. We did have a little snag in the loan, and we put our heads together and she was able to close right before Christmas. Also, like I said, I have a moving truck, so everyone that closes with me, so when it's your time, so after you close, you don't have to worry about trying to get a truck reserved, because a lot of times it's kind of hard to find one, because sometimes the lender, it might come under underwriting, they'd be like, we close the next day. So that's what made me get the moving truck, so it'll be more convenient for my clients.
Well, even Christmas, just think about Miss Smiley. She closed right before Christmas. Moving trucks, those companies might have been shut down right then at that time. If you think about it. So you having that moving truck, whereas she would have to pay, where she'd have to go and try to reserve it and rent it right before Christmas, they might have told her, you got to wait till after the new year, or, you might have to wait till after Christmas. So that is definitely a bonus, having that for your clients. And I was really surprised when I found that out about you. And I think, again, like I told you, you should use that more as your pitch, because that is a selling point. That is a bonus that clients, all realtors don't offer. As a matter of fact, I haven't heard of any realtors other than you that offer a moving truck at closing. So you need to really, really capitalize on that, because that's a bonus.
Yeah, I know it. I just, when I thought about it, it was really just I was like, just wanted to do some. I always try to, resolve every problem that I can. So that was one that I was, blessed to be able to do. Well, we're about to head out of here in a little while, but I do want Tony to kind of give like his name, his number, his company's name, how to reach him. If you can't reach him, y'all know y'all can always call me, and I'll most definitely set you up.
So I have to say that I work for Interlink Mortgage Services, INTERLINC Mortgage Services, Chris Squires Group. My office is in Middletown, across from, I guess, Target and Kroger's and that new First Watch that they built behind Commonwealth Bank. I definitely would like to educate you on the process. So you need to know that I don't get paid a dime until you actually close, and that doesn't even come from you. So if you are interested, the first step really would be completing that application. You can follow me on Facebook, Tony Williams Mortgages. You can call my cell 502-322-7737 or send me a text message, or you can send me an email at twilliams@linkloan. That's twilliams@linkloan.com, and I will get back to you in a prompt manner. I would hope that you would like to use Keisha as your realtor once we get you qualified, but definitely educating you on the process. If you're not ready today, don't worry. We don't say never in this business. We just say we're going to put out a plan for you, and it's all about the time frame. It could be 1 month, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, but as hard as you're willing to work, as long as you're willing to continue and just be thorough on the things that I give you as far as a game plan, then one day you can definitely be a homeowner. It's not out of the realm. It's anybody can do it. It's all about, the education and you understanding the game plan and what you have to do. If you're willing to follow through, then you could be a homeowner too. Home ownership has lots of benefits as far as tax credits and things like that. So thank you for your time, and thank you, Keisha.
Well, thank you, Tony Williams. Again, this is Keisha Sloss, realtor, broker of House to Home Realtors. I do have 2 houses if you're an investor, 2400 Fornsley, and I have a move-in condition 3 to 4 bedroom on 5510 Rustic Way. You can give me a call anytime, 502-416-5628. Credit issues and all, give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the countdown.